Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk some gaming news, what we've been playing, a fun mystery topic, and what we will be looking forward to in the future. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, who might be burning in the heat. I don't know how hot it is. It's definitely warmer than it was here. TJ, at Turn-Based TJ. How are you, sir?
Doing good, not burning too bad. It's only 60 degrees here.
Only.
Only. Yeah.
I mean, that is cooler than anticipated, but all right. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you haven't been burning up with the weather there. That's good. TJ, it's been a long weekend, as we'll get into with PAX. I know everybody's looking forward to PAX episode. Woo! So am I. It's the emotions are all over the place. The highest of highs, things happened, and the lowest of lows because it's over and I'm home. And that 3-hour drive, well, not bad. It's still a 3-hour drive. But enough with the negativity. Let's get on to there might be some negativity here. Let's get on into the news. TJ, what do you have for news for us this week? The busiest of weeks while I was gone.
Yeah. For news, I have the most positive negative news there is. Yay! Starting off with some fun positivity. Okay, everybody keep our spirits high. Positivity, okay? Sony has officially confirmed a price increase for the PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro, and PlayStation Portal family of consoles, effective April 2nd, 2026. Sony cites continued pressures in the global economic landscape as a reason for the increase, which sees an increase across all versions of the PlayStation 5 console and a new recommended retail price for the PlayStation Portal. PS5 is now going to retail at $649.99. PS5 Digital will be $599.99, and the PS5 Pro, oh my God, will be $899.99. Just buy a computer. Holy shit. It's so expensive.
I don't know, Mr. I want to play Yote, buy a PC. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is... I feel like not even that long ago, I was like, oh, Sony says they're not going to increase the prices. What the fuck is going on? Oh, I
don't think they made a hard promise, and this would be why. Because, they've increased the prices, and the PS5 was, what, $599.99?
That sounds about right.
Something like that. So it's a good $50 increase. That's pretty big.
I just had an article up, and I should have kept it open from Kotaku that said what kind of increase it was. Let's see. Yeah, the Pro is getting a $150 price increase, but that's the super fancy edition. Let's see. Digital cost $400 originally. It's not really covering the increases over here. At least I'm not finding it too quickly. So at least, it's a big jump for the Pro version. I'm not sure what it is for base and digital only, but still an increase nonetheless. That it's not great. Not great.
No, $900. I mean, this is just opening the door for the Steam machine to come out and say, we're also $900. We're a PlayStation price.
Yeah, apparently in this Kotaku article from Zach Zweisen, hopefully I said your name right, Zach. I apologize if I didn't. So this is for the Pro specifically. The PS5 Pro is getting the biggest price increase of all. The console launched in 2024 with a $700 dollar price tag. In August 2025, it, along with other PS5 consoles, got a price increase, with the Pro jumping to $750, and next week it leaps up to $900, like you said. So it's a $200 increase in 2 years for the Pro version alone.
God.
Yeah.
Golly, and $900 is so much. That is encroaching on the. I mean, I was kind of joking about the PC thing, but that is encroaching on computer pricing for like a gaming computer.
For sure. Even when the PlayStation 5 launched, like being that 600 tag, I was like, yeah, this is. A lot of us were like, yeah, this is kind of pushing it, like, ugh. So to have it now be this is the default for everything is just a big old bummer.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be signs of things to come. Nintendo has a hard promise that they're not going to increase prices in the year of our Lord 2026, but who knows? This is not like it's in writing, it's not like it's a law. They could just change the price. So
Right.
I feel like in 2027 definitely prices are going up across the board, but I feel like this is just the first canary in the coal mine type situation.
Sure, it's one of those things where like action happens and then it takes a little while for the result slash effect to come into place, and unfortunately this is part of that process, I guess, which doesn't make it any better. It's just like, there's the drop off point.
No, because I don't see an end to the RAM shortage in
Not
sight.
for a
Because
while.
AI is just becoming more and more integrated. I just got a new laptop for work that they gave me, like a work computer, and it has an AI button like hard mapped onto the keyboard. Like
Oh.
yeah, there's a Copilot button on there. So like they're just pushing AI. And first, let me just say, Copilot wouldn't even be in my top three AI to use.
Hmm.
If I was going to use AI consistently, it wouldn't be Copilot. Um, so that button is useless. I'm just going to tape over it. But
Yeah.
I just feel like the AI is it's not ending anytime soon. They're just going to keep implementing it into more and more things, and they're going to keep eating up that RAM. Yum, 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 yum. They're just going to
Yeah.
gobble up that RAM.
Yeah, I don't know the longevity either. Like, it's hard to say because there are signs of more bubbles being burst for this AI thing. Like, it's a relative news piece, but Disney and Sora AI just cut their relationship off. Like, OpenAI is Jesus,
Good.
I can talk, is canceling Sora. So Sora is being shut down completely, and then Disney is obviously backed out of that deal with their giant investment in characters and money, and that's going away. So, like, that's a huge win. It's just the factor of like, okay, that's great. How fast is the rest of it? Like, if the rest of it just poof magically went away tomorrow, what would still be the timeline of like the effects of what we did do type thing? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like if AI ceased to exist on, March 30th, like
Yeah.
it would still take a long time for those RAM
Yeah.
stocks to come back because they'd have to produce them all. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We might be seeing the ramifications
Ha.
of this for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
It is a big bummer, and it's definitely going to play into my decision of, again, said on the podcast, but TJ getting a gaming thing in June is the PlayStation's it's going to be a harder sell on me now.
You got 3 days before the price increase.
Yeah, just bought a car. I can't buy a PlayStation.
Yo,
It
Tay.
got me.
Yo, Tay.
Honestly, I was looking at the Yote there's a Yote edition of the PlayStation 5.
Yes.
And it is $599.99, and I was looking at it very seriously. I was like,
Girl.
well, it's on there, yeah. But then I don't get the case with the cover,
Oh,
because it's
sure.
a digital version. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes me a little sad.
Well, maybe used. Used would be maybe the way to go if you really get to the Yote kick, but yeah.
Yeah, used is definitely the way to go. On some positive news, I'm gonna pepper in a little bit of positive news this week because there's a
Thank
lot of
God.
downer.
Yeah.
A lot of downer stuff. This is a positive one. Developers Supergiant finally confirmed that Hades 2 is coming to the Xbox Series XS on April 14th.
And
it's
PlayStation,
gonna come
baby.
Yes, and it's coming to the Game Pass library.
It is.
So
Very
that's
nice.
huge. Yeah, that's a huge win for Game Pass, and just a very replayable game. You can play that game for forever. So having that on Game Pass is pretty great. That's a big win.
Yep.
Another win is that GG Mods launches on April 13th and looks to shake up the modding scene. Currently, Nexus Mods just has a stranglehold on the modding scene with their client Vortex. They just seem to, like I said, have a stranglehold on it. I don't know if GG Mods is also going to have their own app, their own client to install the mods for you. So I might not be using GG mods because I might not be smart enough to put the files into the thing. So I might have to stick with the Nexus mods just because Vortex does it for you.
Hmm.
You just download it, put it in Vortex, and then Vortex is like, it's in the files now. And you're like,
Gotcha.
thanks. So yeah. So I don't know if GG Mods is gonna launch a similar program like that, but I am glad that there's competition in the modding scene, especially because GG Mods is shaking up the payment structure.
Mm.
They're actually going to pay people for interest, not just downloads. So
Oh,
people clicking on the website just to scroll and look on it will also get them paid.
okay.
So that's pretty good and a win-win. You know, you want to make the most interesting mods, you get paid, the website gets more traffic. It's a whole symbiotic relationship. It's pretty great.
Excellent.
So GG Mods coming April 13th. Um, Another positive piece of news: photo mode was added to Resident Evil Requiem on March 27th.
Hmm.
So that is pretty cool. We can see Leon in all of his greatness. I like how I went to
People have
Leon
been
and not
seeing
Grace.
Leon.
Yeah, I know, with like a gun out, looking
Oh
all
yeah.
cool.
What
and
gun
stuff.
are we talking?
The Requiem.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Obviously, yeah. Obviously. So that's cool that they added the photo mode. Anything that they added Requiem, I'll be happy about because that game is great, but a little short on content, but great. I do think it has the replayability with the unlocks in
Yeah.
the menu. You can unlock like unlimited ammo or new guns and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Walking around with unlimited ammo with Grace with the Requiem must be incredible. Just walking
I pray for the day I get to that point because yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, that chef is going down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's cool. Back to bummer stuff.
Yeah.
Marathon isn't hitting target numbers. Reese Elliott, head of market analysis at Alinea Analytics, took to Twitter to report that Marathon has sold 1.2 million copies across all platforms and just 217,000 on PlayStation 5. According to the analyst, this is not the splash that Sony and Bungie wanted, especially because the game has reportedly struggled to sell well on PlayStation 5 despite coming from a Sony-owned studio. So, while that is not maybe the success that they wanted, I still think those are pretty good numbers. I think.
I mean, to me,
Over
yeah, that
100
seems
copies.
great. What do I know though? Nothing.
And I want to say a little spoiler alert for the next segment, but I have been playing Marathon, and I feel like people who play Marathon know the value of that game. So I think the word of mouth will be big on the game. I think it's going to have a big tail if it can sustain. Right now, it is in that early waters situation
Sure.
where it's like the game could be canceled. Nobody knows, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oof, I hope not. I mean, yeah, it's I think we talked about it before in previous episodes, but it's that live service thing that's still kind of looming over PlayStation, with Jim Ryan's initiative. Like this is one of the last ones I think to come out. I think we still have one more. I could be wrong. And live service is risky in general, just because you need that player base, and then obviously it needs to keep getting funded and whatnot from playing. Granted, it's not a free-to-play one, from my understanding, right? It's like, what, 40?
yeah, it's $40.
Yeah, so not
Same
awful.
price as Arc Raiders.
Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't... Numbers, I mean, what you said, that sounded good, but also it's multiplayer, so more the better. So, yeah, I hope what you're saying is true, that it catches more momentum as it goes on with time. I feel like that kind of happened with Arc Raiders, or at least in my bubble. I was like, okay, it happened, and then everybody was talking about it type thing, and it just seemed to keep going from there. So hopefully it can catch
Just
some
kept
fire.
growing in players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like Arc Raiders player base today is not the Arc Raiders player base that it launched with.
Sure.
It's much higher. I think people like word of mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Marathon has the same thing. Like I said, it just has to survive the next, like, I would say the next 3 months are going to be crucial for Marathon. If it can survive in the next 3 months, then I think it really will have that tail and word of mouth. But,
And they don't quit on it.
and
Don't
they
give
don't
up
quit on
like
it. Yeah, they
Concord,
have
and don't give up like... What else? What shut? High Guard.
Guard.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, Bungie actually has a roadmap And they've already shown to be doing updates and stuff. I
Okay.
mean, Bungie is very good at this kind of thing. All you have to do is look at Destiny 2 or
True.
Destiny 1 for that matter. I didn't like the content that was on offer in Destiny 2 and 1 because I felt it was too repetitive.
Hmm.
However, you can't say they didn't put content in the game. They
Oh
kept
yeah.
updating it and kept doing it and stuff.
Yep.
So I really hope that Marathon's the same case, that they really put the same effort into it, and it's not a Halo Infinite multiplayer
Mm.
situation where that game was not Bungie, I know, but I'm just using Halo
Sure.
because
Yeah.
it's yeah. That game was pretty great at launch, had great shooting mechanics and stuff, but the support wasn't there, and so the multiplayer just kind of died really quickly.
Bummer.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of me wanting to get a PlayStation with discs involved because I want my physical media because I can't collect stuff on PC. So now anytime I get a Switch or if I get a PlayStation, I'm getting those jewel cases, baby. And Nintendo seems to have heard me because they will have different prices for digital and physical games.
Oh.
From the official Nintendo website, beginning in May 2026 and starting with pre-orders for Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, new Nintendo published digital titles exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2 will have an MSRP that is different from physical versions. Nintendo games offer the same experiences whether in packaged or digital format, and this change simply reflects the different costs associated with producing and distributing each format and offers players more choice in how they can buy and play Nintendo games.
Okay. All right.
So, a little bit cheaper to buy it on digital, which is cool.
Okay, that was going to be my dumb question of like, okay, does that mean physical price went up, or does it mean that digital went down? It seems like digital went down. So that, okay, I mean, I like the option there, and obviously the savings, because yeah, it is a little weird that you buy a game for $60 and it's just nowhere.
Yeah, it's just ephemeral.
Yeah,
Like,
which I
it's-
mean, I
yeah.
guess you could make the argument and maybe more in tune people like the key card or the thing you slot into the Switch. Like if it's just it doesn't have the game on it physically. You
Right.
could make that argument of like it doesn't mean anything. So that I could understand that being kickback, lashback, whatever the thing I can't think of is, but
Backlash.
thank you. Backlash? I can't think of backlash.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know. I kind of like that. That's a nice option.
Yeah, I like that. I like it would be like, physical game $70, digital version 60.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like, just give me $10 off for not having to slap some artwork in a box and
Sure.
ship it to Walmart.
Yeah.
However, yeah, like you were talking about, I was getting to that point where Nintendo is in hot water right now because of their digital key, like game key cards or whatever,
Yeah.
where the game is not actually on the card. It's just like accesses the download. So, like, does that count as digital or does that count as physical? It's kind
Right.
of both, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it is just a digital product. Once you put that key card in, I don't think you actually need it afterwards to play the game. I don't think you have to put it in. So.
I don't have any physical Switch 2 games yet, so I do not know.
Yeah, you have to be our resident tester. So,
That's me.
yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as that story develops. But yeah, because we're professional journalists, and
Totally.
yeah, I think
Totally.
I got my credentials somewhere. Yeah,
Oh, my PAX badge is over there. I was going to say, yeah, the one that does not say media.
we're journalists, gosh darn it. So we'll keep an eye on that story as it develops, and hopefully, like I said, it's just like $10 off digital games or something would be
Sure.
sick. No, Nintendo is probably $5 off. It's probably
Yeah.
the game is 70.
Here's
and the
$1.
digital version is 65.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like that. Technically, you did the right thing, Nintendo. So
Yeah.
thank you. A company that didn't do the right thing though is their competitor Sony. They closed another studio. PlayStation's
Oh, I
officially
forgot about this.
closing
Jesus Christ.
Dark Outlaws Games, a first-person studio formed in 2025. This marks the second PlayStation studio to be shuttered in recent weeks. As fans know, PlayStation announced in February that Bluepoint Games would shut down in March 2026. Bluepoint was a prestigious studio responsible for remakes like Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. We covered that on here. After assisting with God of War Ragnarok and working on a canceled God of War live service game, Bluepoint apparently cannot lock down another project and would subsequently be shuttered by PlayStation. Now, Dark Outlaw Games has been dealt a similar hand. So, Dark Outlaw Games is going bye-bye. and that is unfortunate.
There was so much news this week. I totally forgot about this one, and that's another one that sucks. It's a little different because it doesn't have the. I mean, it's still people losing their jobs. What am I saying? I'm being very much an asshole. They didn't have the pedigree that Blue Point has. That's what I was about to say. But yeah, it's still just sucky. I feel like this was one they like made the studio and then nothing happened with it. It was just there and then it was gone, like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and it was developed by or formed by a former Call of Duty worker who worked on like the zombies modes and stuff. He had pedigree.
Oh sure, yeah. Sorry, I mean the
yeah.
catalog of Blue Point. Like,
Yeah, the catalog did.
projects.
Yeah, so I feel like they weren't given a chance either, though, to really spread their wings. They're a peacock; they gotta fly.
Exactly.
And, Sony did not let them fly.
Nope, Sony don't let nobody fly. What are our franchises? Let's go with those. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I will get to the last disappointing. Well, there's two more pieces.
Oh, don't worry, there's more.
I'll get to the last shutdown news that I have, and that's going to be Bethesda has announced that the Elder Scrolls Blades will permanently shut down on June 30th, 2026. It has already been delisted from storefronts. The mobile spin-off game was originally released for Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch in May 2020 and featured classic first-person dungeon crawling gameplay and a story following the titular Blades, who have become exiled after the Great War. Now, after 6 years of service, the Elder Scrolls Blades will no longer be accessible to players after June. I was against this project from the, from the jump, so I'm kind of glad that it's gone. However, it did languish for 6 years, so really, who's the winner here? The answer is not me, and definitely not the players who started to like Blades, you know? I feel bad for them. Like I said, I've had the chance, not the chance, I've had the unfortunate situation where I had to be a phone-only gamer.
Oh.
So I'm always very sympathetic to people who mobile game, because some people that might be their only gaming platform, especially since the PlayStation costs $900 now. So,
Right.
yeah, so anytime one of their games gets shut down, that's a little sad, because that's just less options for people who maybe they want to experience the Elder Scrolls, but they can't play Skyrim because they can't afford a Switch. So it's a little sad. The thing that was the most sad for me this week, at least, was that Borderlands 4 DLC releases to criticism.
What?
$30 of content that you can beat in 2 hours.
Ew.
It's 2 hours long, Brett, but it's $30. Now you could argue that the value comes from them having a new class. There's a new character class. That's pretty cool. You can play through the whole game with the new character class, which is something a sicko like myself would do. But the 2 hours for the actual content at the end kind of leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and it has a bad review on Steam right now.
Now, have you played any of it all? I know we're skipping ahead.
I haven't spent $30.
Gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure, because I know Borderlands 4 you really, really enjoyed, so I wasn't sure if that was something you had talked about in the past.
I'm gonna play it for sure
at some point. Gotcha. Okay. So I'm wondering if it's 2 hours of like the story quest that's involved there, and if you just Golden Path beelined it, would that be the 2 hours? And then there's all this other secondary, tertiary content involved with the package of like side quests, exploration, challenges, stuff like that. Because if that is also in there, don't get me wrong, $30 is still a little up there, but that could help it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't know if they've added like additional bounties and stuff like that. I know that's one of their big things. They keep adding bounties in their packs and stuff for additional content. So I don't know if like those kind of quests are in the game. I imagine they would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, $30 is just such a steep price. And if you want to buy the Vault Hunters pack, which includes the set, because they're going to release 2 Vault Hunters. One they just released, and then they're going to release a future one and another DLC pack.
Yeah.
And that's $50 if you want the Vault pack. So you save $10 because of $30 individually.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, $50 and $30. I mean, my gosh. And then they have season passes, and then you got to buy the skins, and then it just starts getting nickel and dimey real fast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now that you put it like that, like being a season pass on top of that as well, I thought that was the only thing that shows how in tune I am with Borderlands now. Like I feel like Borderlands 2, that season pass was like 6 DLCs, 6 expansions, right? Or was it 4 and then they released 2 afterwards?
I think it was 4 and they released 2 afterwards.
Okay, but still, that was, a couple of Vault Hunters, new story-esque type stuff, which I guess those were... Ugh, man, I'm trying to think back to Borderlands 2 DLCs, how long those were.
They were kind of longer. They would take like at least 6 hours or something like that to go through.
I guess it depends too. Yeah, like Borderlands 1 stuff was shorter. Like I feel like you could get through that in a quick time. But even that was four sections.
Even that was 4 sections, and they added different modes. Like in the Zed's zombie one or whatever, you had like they added different stuff.
Mox's was the whole arena thing, which you had a lot of replayability, and I sucked ass at. Yeah, okay, yeah. Interesting. Not great.
So yeah, I'm trying to picture it like, because it actually has one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise from Borderlands 3, which is he's in the Love, Guns, and Tentacles DLC. He's the I don't know if you've played. Have you played that DLC?
No, I've seen artwork from it, but I don't think I've played it.
Oh, it's my favorite Borderlands content that's ever existed, and because it's Lovecraftian on like this ice planet, and there is like a wedding that's happening and stuff between Sir Hammerlock and Gideon Wainwright. Or no, sorry, Gideon Wainwright. Who the hell is Gideon Wainwright? Jacobs, the Jacobs guy.
Oh, okay.
Who owns like the Jacobs guns? I forget what his name is.
Sure.
But hold on, I'm gonna Google.
Sure. Is it the ice lady that's your favorite character? Or that like way off.
Gideon Wainwright is a landmark U.S. Supreme Court decision in which the Supreme Court ruled the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution requires U.S. states to provide attorneys to criminal defendants. That was somewhere in my brain. It just popped out. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, good.
No. Yeah, he married civil rights actor Gideon Wainwright. Activist. But yeah, he married the Jacobs guy. Anyway, my point is, there's a guy in the hotel at this wedding, and he's voice acted by Aaron Hansen. I don't know if you know who Aaron Hansen is.
Oh, yeah. Ego Raptor, right?
Fame. Yeah, Ego Raptor. Yeah, I knew him as Ego Raptor.
Mega Man.
Yeah. Mega Man. Oh, my knee. That's my knee.
I need Toro's meat or something.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Aaron Hansen is great. So he voices this guy, and he does it. He's like, "Hello." It's fucking incredible. So he returns for this new DLC. So I'm very excited for it. So I'm gonna play it at some point.
Sure.
I just I don't know what my original point was, but Aaron Hansen.
we went on a tangent there. If you didn't notice.
Relatively gaming, everybody. Keyword relatively.
It's there.
I put that in there for a reason, just in case. But yeah, I wish the DLC was a little bit longer and a little bit more fleshed out. But they'll still suck $30 from me probably in a couple of months when I get bored. So we'll see.
Yeah, and maybe that'll also affect like what they do with the next one. Like hopefully they either add more or it lets you know like, nope, not worth it for me to jump in again type thing.
Yeah, and they are adding like new vehicle skins and the character as well and stuff. And like I was obsessed with collecting all the vehicle skins, and which I still don't have all of them. I have all but 2, because you have to hit level 50 in order to unlock one of the vehicles with each character, and that's, boy, is that taking a while.
Sure.
I don't like to start at level 30 like it lets you do. I like to start at level 1 because it's just more fun that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll just take me a while to do that. Anyway, they have new vehicle skins, so I want to collect those, and I want to get the new character and run through the game with him and stuff. So the $30 might be worth it in the end.
Sure.
But,
yeah, we've talked about it before. If it's something you love and you get a lot of enjoyment out of it, like, spend your money where you want to. Like, it might not be for me, the next person, whoever, but, like, I'm never going to sit here, and no one should ever sit here, and be like, oh, you play X, Y, and Z, and you spent blah, blah, blah. Ugh, no. Who cares? I love it. I support it. I get enjoyment out of it. That's all. We joked about it, and there's the short about it with those fucking mounts and the Doomslayer stuff. Like,
oh my god,
I might not be a fan of it, but like, you know, do your thing, whatever. I buy stupid stuff all the time. Do your thing.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, with one exception.
Sure.
If I ever get a PlayStation 5, and this is a big if, because they're going to be $900 now.
Right.
And I get NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe yell at me for buying too many card packs.
Yeah, there's got to be a level here. There's got to be a level,
Yeah.
you know? You can't just be like, oh, I got to rip them open. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm going to sit here and open 30 packs in a row.
And my wallet's gone.
Yeah. Just give me Dylan Larkin already. Come on, please.
Exactly. Just one more. I can do it.
Yeah.
He's right there. I have a 0.25% chance to pull him.
Yeah. Oh, boy. And, yeah, my last piece of news is following the hugely successful launch of Crimson Desert earlier this month, Perlibis CEO Hyo Jin Young has now said that the studio is looking into bringing the action-adventure title to the Nintendo Switch 2. Crimson Desert launched for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on March 19th. And while many believed its vast open world and endless features likely meant it was impossible to bring to its Nintendo's newest console, Perlibis says it's begun researching the possibility.
Right.
That's incredible, because say what you will about Crimson Desert, either way, it's gotten mixed reviews. Some people think it's the worst game in the world. Some people think it's the best game in the world. Some people are right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them agree, though, that Crimson Desert has a mega fuck ton of content. The game is content rich. There's a lot to do. The map is huge and stuff. So having that on Switch 2, where you can bring it with you on vacation, or more likely to the bathroom, is very cool that you can do that with the Switch 2. So I hope that they do manage to bring it, especially when games like Borderlands 4, like we were just talking about, ended up being canceled for the Switch 2. I like to see some more third-party big game support. That's very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in this weird... Well, I wasn't probably going to play Crimson Desert anyway, so, like, grain of salt. Bing! I'm in a weird spot with Crimson Desert right now. I heard they had some Gen AI images that they didn't take out. And that's a whole controversial thing that's going on right now, so I'm like, ugh, that just puts another damper on my spirits. But, once again, if you enjoy it, and you want to have a Switch... It was great. Happy for you.
Yeah. I didn't know about the Gen AI stuff in the game, so that's a bummer.
Yeah, it was like an asset that they put there of like kind of, you know, not roadmap, but block out what they wanted to do. And they claim they forgot to remove it. And now they have to put like that it has Gen AI in it in the Steam stuff and whatever.
Oh, wow.
And there's a bunch of creators that were putting like, this is the image I use when I need a placeholder. And it's just like a stick figure with like something, just all these very goofy drawings. I just love, I had a good laugh at that. So yeah, I don't know.
Very funny, though. Very funny. And that's going to be it for news for me this week. What do you have, Brett? That was a lot of news. That was a deluge of news.
Oh, yeah.
What about yourself?
Like I said, it was a busy week, especially for me being out. I was like, God damn it. We'll start with the bad news. We'll start from the AAA side of things. This is coming from IGN and Tom Phillips. Fortnite developer Epic Games has announced it is laying off 1,000 staff due to a downturn in engagement in its evergreen Battle Royale. In a message the staff shared publicly this morning, Epic Games boss Tim Sweeney said the company was spending significantly more than we're making, meaning that it now needed to make major cuts to keep the company funded. The news comes just a week after the launch of Fortnite's highly anticipated new Battle Royale season, and 2 weeks after the company controversially raised the price of the game's lucrative V-Bucks in-game currency, prompting a huge backlash from players. Quote, today we are laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. Sweeney told Epic Games employees, I'm sorry we are here again. The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded, end quote. Today's layoffs are being accompanied by, quote, over 500 million of identified cost savings, unquote, in contracting and marketing, he continued. While the hiring of some roles will cease, quote, some of the challenges we're facing are industry-wide challenges, unquote, Sweeney wrote, blaming slower growth, weaker spending, and tougher cost economics. Discussing that a cat is in the way. Discussing that last point in more detail, Sweeney said that current consoles were selling less than last generation, and noted that games are increasingly competing for time against other forms of entertainment. Quote, and some of our challenges are unique to Epic, he continued. Quote, despite Fortnite remaining one of the most successful games in the world, we've had challenges delivering consistent Fortnite magic with every season. We're only in the early stages of returning to mobile and optimizing Fortnite for the world's billions of smartphones, and in being the industry's vanguard, we have taken a lot of bullets in a battle which is only in the early days of paying off for ourselves and all developers, unquote. So that sucks big time. You would think with Fortnite being the thing that it is, having all these crossovers, the IPs, The Rock being in this most recent season, you know, you have the money to play around with to get these things. What the fuck is going on? So it's just a bummer. And like, this is a decent amount of their work staff. It doesn't seem long ago that Epic was taking an old abandoned mall down in North Carolina and like making it their headquarters. I don't even know if that's still a thing, if that went through and was built or whatever. I didn't really follow up on that when that was happening, but I remember relatives reaching out and being like, oh, this cool thing's happening, you want to come down here and work here? And I'm like, I don't know, that might be fun, but now it seems like no. Yeah, it's just a big bummer for obviously all these workers that are getting laid off, and to see once again like all these IPs being in there, like you couldn't do something different. But maybe this is just another telltale sign of Fortnite's crescendo, and it's on that down slope. Like there's not much that can stay that consistent for that long. Like Fortnite's been around, what, 10 years? Maybe a little shorter than that. Like, they had a lot of success, but yeah, people are dropping off, like the article said. I know I'm one of them. That's multitude of reasons, but you know, like, they got to bring something to the table, and I don't know what can fix it, type of thing, because you would think the IPs would bring people back in, but maybe that's just a temporary fix, like a patch, like, oh, this cool skin, okay, I got it, I'm gone. Oh, this cool skin, I'm gone.
You're a big Lord of the Rings fan?
I enjoy it.
You've seen the movies, right?
Yeah.
The age of the battle royale is over. The age of the extraction shooter is now.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts too. But yeah, they're certainly on their way down. I mean, it's hard when we're not, at least personally, I'm not in that bubble anymore. Like we talked about Apex Legends, how I was in that fully and then I dropped. Yeah. PUBG was fun. I think it's still going. Obviously Fortnite being Fortnite. But we've also seen other ones fail. Like, do you remember the wrestling one that studio shut down and the servers went offline?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah, so like that was a battle royale that shut down. I think Fall Guys is still going. That's obviously a different kind of battle royale. Yeah, so you could do that. But another thing that this article didn't talk about that I know has happened with these layoffs, they're also shutting down 3 game modes. They're getting rid of Fortnite Festival, which is like your Guitar Hero. They're getting rid of some racing side game. I thought it was Rocket League for the longest time, but it's not. Some racing game. And then they tried to do, not extraction shooter, I think it was more like Valorant, like that kind of gameplay. where it was highly
Okay.
competitive Fortnite, they're
Oh,
dropping those
Jesus.
3 modes. They're like closing them. So
Wow.
like I could see how the Fortnite festival will save them a lot of money because they don't have to keep buying all this licensed music to then charge. It was an interesting concept, I'll admit it. Like I could see how it would be great if you wanted to curate this a mass of songs that you like for your like own personalized Guitar Hero. So they would have like free rotating songs every week. It
Right.
would change up and you could play it as much as you want in that week. But if you wanted to permanently add something to your set list, playlist, selection, you had to spend 500 V-bucks, which is like, I want to say $5. So like $5 a song to then be like, Jesus, like that's insane. So I can
Yeah,
see
that is
why that
insane.
never, well, I could see maybe why that didn't take off. But like, to me, that sounded really appealing until the cost came into it of like, oh, it's that much? No, 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 no.
Yeah, what's gonna happen to some jabroni that has
Has spent all that.
80 songs that they've
Yeah,
spent? Yeah,
just
that sucks, man.
gone. Which I guess is part of the risk with these things, with online purchases and whatnot. It's like, yeah, you get that DLC, but until that thing gets taken off the shop, like poof, you don't own it. And that's the whole can of worms of digital physical being on the disc, not on the disc, like ooh, that it could just bye-bye, it's gone.
Yeah, I
So,
think the reason that people invest their digital purchases on Steam is because Steam feels like it's never going to go away. But who's to say in 2037 or whatever, Gabe Newell decides to shut the whole thing down and
right,
then that's it. I don't own those games technically. You know what
right,
I mean? Steam owns those games. I'm licensing those games from Steam. I'm borrowing them. So
yeah,
yeah,
scary.
it's pretty fucked. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a little scary with digital purchases, but yeah, that's the risk you take.
Yeah. All right, I got one more bummer piece of news. So we're going from Triple A's to the Indies. This broke over PAX weekend, which was even more of a bummer. Ivy Road, the studio behind Wanderstop, is shutting down. This is from Ivy Road directly. Hi, everyone. Today we must share some bittersweet news. Ivy Road is closing its doors as of March 31st, 2026. It's hard to put into words how thankful we are to have been able to work together on Wanderstop. This is an incredible group of people, and while we had a new project, Engine Angel, which there is footage of out there, that we were excited about, unfortunately the funding did not come to fruition and the studio had to shut down. What does it mean for Wanderstop? There's still one last surprise brewing, one we've been working on for the last year to help find a way for Wanderstop to reach new players. The great folks at Annapurna Interactive will be sharing more news about this in the future, and we're looking forward to you all seeing what it is. The game will still be available to play and purchase on the platforms it's currently available on. I apologize. If you have any future requests, feedback, bugs related to the game, please reach out to Annapurna Directive with the email address provided there. We also wanted to be sure to share a chapter select code that can be used to help if you're a future player who happens to get stuck in an area or if just wanted to experience a specific chapter or moment of the game once more. And they put the code on their website directly. So if you guys are looking for that, that is there. But yeah, it just sucks. I didn't play Wanderstop all the way through, but I did jump into it and I did really enjoy the parts that I had played, and it's something I need to get back to. It's just me with my dumb brain of new shiny thing, jump. But Wanderstop is a very cozy game in a way where the gameplay mechanics and the farming aspects of it, of just chilling, making the tea, there's no rush. It's very calming, but then you meet the characters who are facing their own struggles without even realizing it, and you can kind of relate to a lot of them. And I don't want to spoil anything for people who don't know, but the way that they kind of progress the story and put the hooks in you, I'm like, oh, that's really good, and makes me feel a little bit more harder for the characters I did meet and are interacting with. That I'm like, yeah, if I play this all the way through, I can see where this is going, of like, man, it's going to make me think, it's going to make me feel, stuff like that. So
Right.
it's just a big bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard. I haven't played that Wonder Stop, but like ever since you talked about it on the podcast, maybe even like months and months ago at this point, which is crazy to think that our podcast even has months and months ago to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talked about Wonder Stop, and ever since then, I've been like, oh, that reminds me of this book, and it reminds me of this, and it seems super cozy, and I really have a soft spot in my heart for this game that I've never played. So to hear that the studio is going under is a bit of a bummer for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I hope all those people can land on their feet and figure out something next. And maybe seeing this footage out there of the car game that they were developing, maybe somebody will swoop up and pick up that IP and like bring those people on. We'll have to see. Time will tell. It's still fresh. I got 2 more pieces of news. One I'm surprised you didn't bring up, but they are happier not to, make light of everything else.
Yeah.
Marvel Tokon reveals a new character as Penny Parker is joining the roster for Tokon, assembling a new team up of 4. So cool to see her getting more spotlight since the Spider-Verse movie and now Marvel Rivals. Yes, that's the game. And now in Tokon. And then last but not least, the big drop over the weekend. Nintendo cannot hold on to its load and decide to blow it. Star Fox is joining Mario Galaxy, the movie. Glenn Powell is confirmed as Star Fox. And yeah, he's popping in there. Why didn't they keep this a surprise? I am scared. What else? What's going to happen?
Oh my God, they're gonna make a Super Smash Brothers movie.
I mean, it seems like that's the route they're going, which I have mixed feelings on, to be honest, but whatever.
With the live action Zelda too, so it's gonna be animated Mario.
It's gonna be was it Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, it's gonna be Who Framed Roger Rabbit style because they're making a Zelda movie, but it's live action.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I heard rumors of that, but I just like avoided that piece of news because I was like, I don't want it to be true that it's confirmed already, but it's confirmed already. I'm not too upset. I love Star Fox, and I just want Super Mario Galaxy to be good.
Yeah.
It looks like it's taking on a lot. It's doing Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Galaxy, and now there's Star Fox involved. It looks like they're really doing a lot. But then again, the first movie had the origin story, but also managed to cram some Mario Kart in there and a whole ass Mario level and stuff. So who knows? Maybe they can pull it off. I know I'm going to see it next weekend with my sisters, so that'll be a good time. So
Nice.
Hopefully the movie is good, even with Star Fox.
Now, TJ, may I enlighten you with a potential rumor this creates, and not the Smash Bros. Movie. Now, I saw this on Blue Sky, so it's not my idea. I'm not going to take credit for it. Do I remember who Blue Sky skeeted it? Put it out there? No, I'm so sorry. But who was in the first Super Mario movie?
Donkey Kong.
Who got a game on Switch too?
Donkey Kong.
So
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, does that mean you're making a Star Fox game?
God, I hope so. Except for every time they make a Star Fox game, that's not Star Fox. Shit, I always forget the shit ass. I forget the one that's on the GameCube.
Assault.
That's not Assault. Yes, unless it's Star Fox Assault or Star Fox 64. They always seem to make these weird, esoteric Star Fox games that make no sense. I played one on the DS where you get to draw the paths of the ships.
Oh.
And that's how the ships moved, and it was very bad. And I just wanted a good Star Fox game on my DS, and that was not it. So they always make these weird moves. So if they do make a Star Fox game, please, for the love of God, make it a playing game where you shoot down enemy fighters, and not a weird on the planet with a staff game or a game where you're drawing on your DS. Just give me a regular ass Star Fox game, please, for the love of God.
Well, the Switch 2 has those mouse controls. Maybe they'll do something with that.
Oh, Jesus. I bet you they would. They absolutely would do something like that. Oh, my God.
Well, that wraps up the news for this week. Quite a bit of it. So thank you guys for sticking through it. Now we're jumping into our next section. What you been playing, TJ? What have you been playing?
Put up the X. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't been playing
Oh.
the I will one day though. One day soon, I will have the X up for real. No, I've
Yay.
been playing. I've been playing Marathon, and another game, but I will talk about Marathon first because
Okay.
I have a lot of opinions.
Hmm.
I've never played an extraction shooter before, but it is fun. You have like these contracts that you get, and then you go out into these maps, and there's only like four maps, I think. I only have access to two of them at the moment. There's only like four maps, and you drop down, and there's like all these POIs on the map, and you get a contract, and it'll be like, go to this POI and hack this computer or whatever. So you're trying to go there and do that. The problem is there's fucking robots everywhere, and also there's other players that'll come and shank you. So that's not fun when you get shanked by another player. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like PvPvE, which I guess is what extraction shooters are. Just a lot of enemies in the environment and also other players, so that makes it interesting. Um, I came up with a cool analogy for Marathon though. Going back to the battle royales are out and extraction shooters are in. I don't know if that's the case. That's just how I feel in my personal life. So I feel like Escape from Tarkov is the PUBG of extraction shooters. It's like the first one, but a little rough around the edges. And so then you have the next iteration that comes out and becomes the popular one, which would be Fortnite in the Battle Royale scene. And in the extraction shooter scene, I think that would be Arc Raiders. I think Arc Raiders is the most popular extraction shooter right now and probably will hold that title for a long time. And then comes the iteration after the most popular one, where they sci-fi it up a little bit and add some hero shooters to that. That being Apex Legends in the battle royale scene, and this being Marathon in the extraction shooter scene. I think they added the character class. I don't know if in Arc Raiders there are different character classes, but in Marathon there's shells, and the shells act like hero shooter abilities and stuff. I always play as Triage, which is the health one. Obviously, he can shoot little health robots at people and stuff. I always like to play the healer when I'm learning a new game because then it's a little bit easier for me to heal myself and be useful to my teammates. That's why I always played Lifeline in Apex Legends, for
Hmm.
example, because I always liked being helpful in that way. So yeah, that's my little analogy that I came up with, which I was very proud of battle royale to extraction shooters. So in that vein, I feel like Marathon is my choice of extraction shooter the way that Apex Legends was because of those hero shooter elements of the different characters, the different shells in this case. And man, you're constantly unlocking stuff. Like I'm constantly unlocking different like skins for my shell and stuff. So that's really cool. Um, so you go into the map, you have your contract, you go in and you're just trying to loot shit as much as possible because you have limited ammo, you have very limited resources and stuff. So you want to loot shit and then take it back with you. You want to exfil or exfiltrate. So you go to an exfil site and then you'll be able to leave with all your stuff. But if you die before you exfil, then you don't get all your shit. Everything that you have on you is lost.
Hmm.
So if you find a cool gun, that's gone. If you find any items you need, credits, ammunition, all gone. So it's really important that you exfiltrate, which is cool because I had a scenario where like my partner was dead, and I'm trying to exfiltrate myself, but there's a team, like a human team, in this POI where the exfil site is, but they're fighting robots and another team, and I'm a solo player, and I activate the exfil, and it takes like 20 seconds to boot up, and I'm like hiding behind a wall, like please nobody, please, because it makes like a big sound, it's like
Of course.
wow, and you have to like stand in the circle. So I'm just like there hiding, trying not to die from the people, because I'm like I really need to get all this shit back to my base, and yeah. It's cool. It's a little difficult in that regard where you lose all your items because you're constantly scraping for items. Like there's something you can do which is cool for free. You can get a sponsored kit. Because before you go to a match, you like load up all your items. You want to give yourself health kits and shield kits and ammunition for your gun and a gun. You want to pick all that stuff. And it calculates the value of everything too, because you'll lose all that when you if you die. Um, or instead of doing all that, you can take a sponsored kit. Now, if you take a sponsored kit, you can't take any other items at all whatsoever.
Mm.
You can't take any upgrades, any shield upgrades, anything like that. You just have to take what the sponsored kit gives you, but it'll give you a basic gun and it'll give you a little bit of ammo for it. So, a lot of times I'll go in doing a sponsored kit because I know I won't lose any of the stuff that I've got. And if I die, it's not that big of a deal that you lost because you're only losing the shit that you picked up on the map. The
Yeah.
sponsored stuff is really not that big of a deal. But if you win, you get to keep the sponsored stuff. So you get to keep that gun
Oh,
that they gave you and stuff,
okay.
and you can use it again on another map and like your personal stuff. So it's really cool. I really like that aspect of sponsored kits. Um, Now you had made a comment off podcast as well that maybe Marathon wasn't that fun for a solo player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will say you have a strong point because when you load in, everybody has their own missions. You're not all loading in on the same mission.
Oh,
So, your mission will say go over to this POI, and their mission will say go over to this POI. Well, they're going to want to go to that one. And so, oftentimes, if you're playing solo, whoever pings first and starts running, and wherever the team follows, that's kind of it.
mm.
So, if they go to a different POI, they just want to accomplish their goals and they don't want to help you with yours, you're kind of fucked, honestly. And then you end up just helping theirs because what they'll do is they'll fulfill their contract. They'll do what they want to do, and then they'll exfiltrate every
Mm.
time. So they won't help you with yours at all. However, I on the flip side of that, I have had matches where teammates have specifically been like helping me.
Okay.
Um, and not only helping me fulfill my contract by like getting me to the site, they'll be like, "Hey man, I know the only way to get inside this building is there's like a hatch on the roof.
Uh,
So why don't you go up to the hatch on the roof and jump down?" And I'm like, "Oh, thank you," because voice over is on by default.
okay.
Um, you have to turn that off. So that's a good and bad thing, for obvious reasons. But I've noticed it as positive. I've had a lot of positive people. They've been very helpful and stuff. Everybody's been pretty chill.
Good.
This is the early part of the game though, so I'm playing with other newbies and stuff. So the chances of them being nice are a little bit higher. But
Mm.
I've had a pretty pleasant experience with that. However, the reason I brought up the solo play was not just all that. It was because there's actually a different shell called the Rook.
Hmm.
And the Rook, you can only play solo with
Okay.
the Rook. And you go into other people's games basically, and it feels kind of like this is an analogy that I didn't come up with, but Mike did. But it feels like when you invade another player's game in Elden Ring or Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just kind of in there and there's like other teams fighting and stuff and you're just like, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna steal all your shit," and you just like go and like take stuff off their corpses and just like rummage stuff. You're just a nuisance. You're a monster, and then you just slink out and exfiltrate out. It's really fun, and it's a good way to if you're playing solo and you're like, "Well, I don't want to advance my contracts because then I'll be past my friends."
Mm.
You can just do a rook run, or if you're like, "Hey, I just need items. I'm like out of items entirely." Just do a rook run and just grab some items and then fuck out of there because you don't have to do a contract. There's no contract with rook. With rook, the contract is steal as many items as possible.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's very fun. This makes me want to play other extraction shooters, to be honest with you, because I'm having a good time. But I also don't know how I feel about loading into the same map over and over again.
Mm.
I don't know if that's gonna get old or what. I'm still in the honeymoon phase of the game right now, so like that hasn't gotten old. But oh my God. Okay, this will be my last point, I swear.
You're
But I
good.
haven't even talked about the art direction and the world that they set up and stuff. It is really freaking cool in Marathon. The art direction and the I haven't seen this much color in art direction in a game since freaking Splatoon. Like it's just like a color explosion everywhere. I think I said on an earlier podcast that like the environments were so colorful that it's hard to see the people.
Yeah.
And while that is still slightly a problem, those colorful environments, it looks really cool and the shells look really cool and stuff. Like it just looks really sick. And the world building they have a lot of codex entries and they do have a little bit of cutscenes and stuff where it's just like voiceovers. But it's like a corporation world. It feels kind of like a future cyberpunk almost. Um, and it reminds me of Alien, like the Aliens universe,
Okay.
because like they have these advanced robots. Like when you play as a shell, you're actually like a person like booting into a robot that's somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so they have these like super advanced robotics that are like human like, but at the same time their computers are still like those the green text, on the
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, like the MS-DOS type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like still using MS-DOS, but they have these really advanced lifelike robotics that would be like impossible to make in real life. So it's like this weird what do you call it? Retrofuturistic vibe, which is really cool. And then you have all these corporations that have all their own lore and stuff, like
Mhm.
Nuclearic, makes a lot of food and medicine and stuff, and you have all these different corporations. So it's really cool. Haven't even talked about the gameplay. The gunplay is just super solid. Like I love the gunplay in this game. Like it feels really good to use every gun. They have these like electric guns that use like batteries. And I fucking I'm sucking up those batteries every time I see them.
Mhm.
If I see a battery on the floor, I will like run across a bunch of robots shooting at my friends. I'll like dive across a shooting range just so I can pick up an extra battery. Cause I'm like, fuck yeah, I got a battery. The only problem is the battery gives you like 100 voltage,
Mhm.
right? And so you shoot and the voltage goes down. Um, but if you reload, it takes up that whole battery. So you could be at
Oh,
75% voltage and then accidentally push the reload button and it'll pop in a new battery. And then you're like, fuck, I only have six
okay.
batteries now.
Gotcha.
On the flip side of that, if you switch out of the gun, when you run around, it actually charges up the battery
Oh, all right.
so you can shoot more, which is cool. And there's a very generous run on this because you're a robot, you're not a person.
Right.
So you can run for a very long time. There is an overheat meter, but
Mhm.
you can still run for a very long time, which is awesome. But you don't want to do it too much because people will fucking hear you.
Sure.
The other teams, I've eliminated some other teams, but I would say like 80% of the time that I encounter another team, I'm like, well, it was a good run, everybody. Like, I'm just not there yet myself. I feel like you have to have a coordinated team with you.
Mhm.
And I have had the pleasure of playing with randos solo queuing and with a friend, with Mike. And it is much better with a friend because with Mike, we can both be like, let's work on your contract. We'll do this. We'll pop over here. Well, I'll help you with this. And then we'll get out of here. We'll exfil.
Yeah.
You can't really have that kind of communication with randos when you're solo queuing.
Right.
So yeah, that's a marathon. Been a lot of fun. Been playing it a lot. I played it for probably like 3 hours today alone.
Very cool.
So it's very cool. I hope to continue to play it. I hope the game has continued success because, like I said, I think everybody who's played it that like I've read and stuff, they've been like, yeah, the gameplay is super solid. Like the gunplay feels really, really good. It feels like better than Destiny, and all this stuff. The world building they did is crazy. The load screens every time you're loading in is like this esoteric like moth shit, like eating a mask. It's like creepy and stuff.
Oh.
There's like all this weird creepy imagery. I joked with Mike. I'm like, are we being programmed to become like Russian spies?
Yikes.
Because it's so esoteric and weird. I'm like, is this the are they gonna read from the Red Book from Captain America
Oh
Civil
yeah,
War? Where
just
they're
say
gonna be
some
like,
words and yeah,
yeah,
you're gone.
like freight train. I'm gonna hear the word freight train in 10 years and just be like, activated.
Yep.
That's how weird the cutscenes are for Marathon. It's very bizarre, but just makes me appreciate the world that they built so much more.
Yeah, that sounds
Um,
really, really cool. I mean, I told you how I wasn't really interested, but like hearing everything you're saying here, I'm like, well, first I realized I'm a dum dum and didn't realize the gameplay loop of an extraction shooter. I
mhm.
understood like you loot stuff and you could lose said loot. I didn't realize you were going, okay, here's my bucket, scoop, bring it back home, dump it, go back out.
Yes,
I was just like, so are you just like pack muling everything and then just, but no, now that I'm like, oh yeah, drop it off somewhere. Like you have a home base that's like, oh, okay, now I get it. And then, like you said, the contracts, the missions, to me, that's like, oh, that's more appealing because I had always wondered like what drew people to these. And I'm like, you just rinse repeat and like looting, dying, but to have also those additional tasks or things that you're trying to accomplish, I'm like, oh, all right, that sounds pretty good. And is it teams of 3 potentially when you play multiplayer?
yeah, it's teams of three,
Okay.
absolutely.
So, okay. And then you're doing that. How many are there a set number of teams every time you go out when playing multiplayer that are like in the world, or is that random?
I haven't been able to tell, honestly.
Okay.
There's no like indicator or anything, so as far as I know, it could be random, but I'm assuming it's like a set number. It's probably like two or three other teams or something.
Okay.
You
Or
don't encounter them
is
like all the time.
Sure. Okay. Or is it something where like it's organic, where it's like, okay, here's the world, your team pops in. Obviously, there's the environment that you could fight against the robots. And then like at random points, like, oh, this team just happened to join. This team happened to join. Is it something like that as well, where people are extracting, teams are entering, and it's like a living world?
No, I think it's got that has like a 25-minute time limit, I want to
Oh,
say, or
okay.
maybe a 30-minute time limit. So I don't actually know what happens when you hit the end of the time limit. I was talking to Mike about that when we were playing the game because we got
Yeah.
to like 5 minutes left or something.
Okay.
I was like, do we automatically exfil if the time ends, or do we lose automatically if the time ends? So I don't actually know. I don't have an answer for that, but I
Okay.
do know that all teams load in the beginning
Gotcha.
and then kind of go from there.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds kind of
There's different
interesting.
exfil sites pop up across the map and pop up and go away.
Yeah.
And there's also like guarded exfil sites where like a bunch of robots will be there.
Yep.
And when you hit exfil, like a ship will come in and drop down robots. You're like fighting for your life.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many exfils that I've actually completed successfully while I've been downed, because that still counts as
Oh,
long as you're not dead if you're just downed. So I've been
okay.
downed like hiding behind the beacon while
Yeah.
bullets have been going around me, and then like it goes off, and I'm like, yeah, we did
Mm-hmm.
it. um, and speaking to the contracts as well, another cool thing about it is they are tied to the corporations,
Okay.
so you get different ranks with corporations depending on how many contracts you've done with them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when you rank up with a certain corporations can give you certain ability benefits. Like you can loot faster, or you can heal faster, or things like that, or you have a bigger backpack. And so you can kind of prioritize which company you want to do contracts with based on like what upgrades you want. It's a really cool system the way they did the contracts, honestly.
Nice. And I think you mentioned earlier, like you're leveling up. Is there ways you can level up that takes it away that you can't play? Like you and Mike, if you leveled up too far, could you not play with Mike anymore? Am I understanding that correctly? Or
No, no, no. We would still be able to
oh,
play. It
okay, good,
just
good, good,
just
good.
depends what map we want to load into.
Oh, it's the map specific. Okay, okay, cool, good.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that would be frustrating. Of like, oh no, I'm too far. I thought you mentioned something earlier with progress. Maybe it was solo queuing or something, but or completing their task but not your tasks, something like that. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all in all, that sounds really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, maybe I should give it a try.
Yeah, maybe you should. It's pretty fun. I'll give it another week before I give it a hard recommend because I
Sure,
don't want you to waste $40.
sure,
But for me, I've been enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was. I thought I
good,
was just gonna. I was like, let me just play it with Mike real quick, and then I was like, no, this is actually they've done something here with this
good,
game. That's pretty cool.
cool. Very glad. Very nice.
Yeah. Um, I feel bad in taking up more time because that was a long
It's a long
marathon race.
episode this week, folks.
Yeah.
That's why there's timestamps, baby.
It's a long one because guess what? I've played a second game.
Oh my God. A
Played a
second
second game.
game has hit the. I mean,
Whoa, hey, oh,
sorry.
hey, hey.
Nothing.
We're pro America on this.
Well, anyways, anyway,
I mean,
second game, second game,
yeah.
second game.
Second game. Gears of War Tactics.
Oh,
Been playing that. Um, I played Gears of War Tactics originally on Xbox Game Pass, but it was on sale for $10, so I was like, "Fuck it, we're playing it again."
mm-hmm.
So I got it. It's still one of the best turn-based tactics games as far as visceral gameplay goes. Something about it. I know this sounds really dumb, being that it's a turn-based game, but they somehow made it like an action turn-based game. Like it
Okay.
feels action like it's really cool. There's a surprisingly detailed skill tree with every character, which is really cool. They have let's see, weapon mods and stuff that add personality to your characters. Like the skill trees and the weapon mods both add like a lot of customizability. I could see where I would replay this game again because it's only a campaign and the campaign's not like super long. So I could see myself replaying this again on a higher difficulty and choosing a completely different skill tree path. For example, like for one of the old veteran guys. Um, but yeah, it's really cool. One of the things they added that I really love in these games, if you've played any of these XCOM style games, because it's heavily inspired and influenced by
Sure.
XCOM Enemy Unknown. So if you've played any of these XCOM games, style games, one of the cool things they added that's unique to Gears Tactics is if you switch to the pistol, you can do a disrupting shot. And I can't tell you how fucking incredible that is because basically enemies will go into Overwatch just like you can go into Overwatch. Like I said, just like the XCOM games, you're constantly going into Overwatch. Um, but unlike in XCOM, with the disruptor shots, you can do one shot with the pistol and it will stop them from being in Overwatch if you hit them,
Oh, okay.
which is fucking incredible. In other games, there's no way to get rid of that Overwatch. You just have to tank it or go around it, or you kill that person entirely
Sure.
to get rid of the Overwatch. But otherwise, there is no way. So you can just take an action and do that. I think it takes like 2 action points or something to do a disruptor shot, but still, you can disrupt them and stop them from being on Overwatch, and then you can advance your troops up, which is really cool. It's something you don't see in XCOM. It's something you don't see in Chaos Gate and these other XCOM like games. So that alone has been really cool. I also really like how on the map there's items that you can get, like chests. So while you're playing the game, it kind of incentivizes you, like, hey, if you go far left on the map, you can get this item, but you'll be a little bit out of position. You won't be as tightly cohesion as you would be if you went straight down the middle. So it gives you that risk reward. And it reminds me of Fire Emblem, honestly.
Mhm.
That's what Fire Emblem does. They'll put like an item, like a chest on the map somewhere, and then you're like, well, I can either go get that chest or I can play as efficiently as possible with my squad. So it's like that risk reward of like sending off a guy or two to go get that chest
Mhm.
to see if it's worth it. Hopefully it is. And in Gears Tactics, I found that it has been worth it. It's been like item pieces for your guns and stuff that like really help out. It'd be like 15% dodge or something. You're like, that's a pretty big boost. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. What else did I write down?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, there's also optional sub objectives, which is really cool. So while you're playing, it'll be like, do the main objective, which is kill all the enemies or rescue a character, wherever. But it'll be like a sub objective where it's like take no damage or nobody goes down or find these items or whatever. And having the sub objectives makes it also replayable because you can replay the same mission in different ways. So it's really cool. It's Gears Tactics, ladies and gentlemen. People have heard about it by now or seen gameplay, but it's just a lot of fun. If you like these style games, you really can't do much better than Gears Tactics. They really knocked it out of the park with how they designed this game, and makes me want to play Gears of War as well. Honestly, get that chainsaw going because it's just it's a good time. It wraps you into the universe really well, and if you don't know about the game, it's a prequel to Gears of War, so it's really cool to see the real world start to slowly like get fucked up by
Mm.
the emergence of the what are they called? The worm
Locust.
people? Yeah, the locust like popping out of the ground, destroying the world. It's really cool to see that slowly happen to like these cities and turn them into these great set pieces that's will happen in Gears of War 1. So
Yeah.
very cool game. Highly recommend it. Even if you don't like turn-based tactics games, it's one of those games that might change your mind.
Hmm. Would this make you, or does this inspire you to play Gears Funko Pop game, whatever the fuck it was called?
Yes, I actually already have it in my. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Aww.
no, it does not.
I think it was also a turn-based game. I don't remember.
I'm also not trying Gears 5. I'm sorry. I don't care how good Gears Tactics is. I'm not subjecting myself to Gears 5. Gears Reloaded, there's a chance, but Gears 5, hell no.
Any interest in was it D-Day is the prequel game that's coming out?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know about that actually, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's
I
in
used to
development.
hate the Gears franchise
Oh.
when I was like in high school or like growing up. I was just like, this is like too hyper masculine. They look like stupid meat puppets. But then I actually played the game. I think it was actually Mike who had me play through the campaign. We played together.
Yeah.
Gears 1. I'm like, this is fucking fun though. I don't know what else to
Yeah.
say. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, Papa Griff and I played through 2 and 3 together. I played 1, I think, after that. Yeah, I know. I borrowed it from a friend, and I was like, 1 is so freaking hard. God damn. But yeah, I only played up to 3. And then I remember Charlie, who was guest on the podcast, I knew we played a lot of the the waves in 3. I don't remember what it was
Yeah, Gears
called.
of War 3 was very good.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Oh God, what's that game? Horde mode.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember you could invest in like, okay, we're gonna put like barbed wire here, block this off, build it up to barricades, build turrets and stuff like that, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hours lost to that Horde mode for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, very cool. That sounds great. So what have I been playing? We'll get to the other stuff, but there's only really been one thing I've been playing in the meantime. It has not been Ball Pit. There is no release yet of the next free update. I wish. I've been playing more Pokopia. Shocker, I know. Nice. This was my time killer while I was waiting for panels at a certain event that we'll be talking about shortly. So I've expanded from that opening area. I still have been like focusing primarily on that first area and like decorating and making it kind of all flow better of where they're like, oh, there were buildings here, there were paths, and I'm trying to like clean it up. But I expanded more into a beach area, beach zone. And I've found some more Pokemon there. I found Mareep, so I have some electricity going. I found a Meowth. I fought Pawmi and Pawmo, which have been helping me out in terms of like crushing to make paint for my painter Smeargle guy that I found also here. I found Piplup and Prinlup, but I've slowly been doing that because guess what I did, TJ? Oh, everything's messed up in this area. Let me clean it. So I'm like, this road's broken. Let me fix it. So, the reason I
should have never let you play Power Wash Simulator because now you're just you're a menace.
Yeah. But the main reason, and you're gonna laugh at me, the main reason I went to this area was not for story progression. No, it was because while I'm still not looking up much of this game, I did look up how do I get a recipe for brick path lining. And they're like, oh, you need to level up your environment level, which is pretty much like the Pokemon in the area and how happy they are. That brings up your environment level. So how happy they are with their homes, their habitats, stuff like that. And I have to get that beach area to a level 6 to then be able to craft these bricks that line the street. And I want that so I can finish making the first area pretty because there's blocks and patches of where the brick isn't lining up. And I'm like, I just want to do that. Make it pretty there. But no, all in all, Pokopia is still going fantastic. I talked briefly with some people I saw this weekend about their experience with it, and glad to hear they're having a good time. And like, they're like, oh, I'm trying to find this thing. I'm trying to do this. And I'm like, I didn't even know about that thing. I'm just here in my bubble. But no, it's been a great time. So with that wrapped up of what we've been playing, let's get into our mystery topic. No lightning, no bubbles, no effects needed. Let's talk about PAX East, baby. PAX East 2026. As of today.
Yes, how was that?
I'm home. I'm back. Thank you for asking, TJ. PAX East 2026 was amazing. Weird ups and downs, but more of a personal up and down. So the event's 4 days, starts Thursday. I got there Wednesday and goes through Sunday today as of recording. Friday, I had a migraine. So I was out for the count. A bit of a bummer there. So I missed a whole day of PAX, which sucked. But luckily it was just me being me and getting one of my migraines. And it happened to strike on this Friday that I was out there. I was a little scared because there's so many people. I was like, what if this is something more? But like I said, I lucked out. It just turned out to be that. And I was back in action on Saturday and felt great. All in all, the event was a great time. I did play quite a few demos, which I'll definitely talk about a few here, at least in terms of standouts, and I'll definitely do more content other places, whether it's, the shorts here, TikTok, or whatever, talking about each of them individually for any I don't cover here. But played a lot of demos, and the panels I went to that I shouted out, both Game Pretty and Trivia, were fantastic. Shout out to Adam doing his first panel and absolutely crushing it with Game Pretty, and then Jacob making a return with his Trivia that he's done. Ooh, what did he say? I think he's done it maybe 10 times now. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And Jacob, what a trooper. This guy was, out there. He was losing his voice Saturday. Like, I ran into him on the expo floor and he's like, hey, I gotta get this fixed. Like, he sounded hoarse as shit. And by the time the panel came around, he was still a little bit, but he had recovered. A lot of tea, a lot of like other things to help. I was like, thank God, that would have been a bit of a nightmare for him. And I don't want any, don't want that on anybody of like, I gotta host this thing and I gotta worry about this. Just like, oof. But they both did a fantastic job with the panels that they hosted. The expo floor had a lot to partake in, from obviously the indies that we're going to talk about, a lot of different vendors, some returning, some new. You had some AAA stuff. Nintendo was there with a big presence, as they were last year, but I think they had even more of a presence this year with a lot of demo stations where people could jump into Super Mario Wonder and Pokopia and other games if they wanted to play those. There were some fun set pieces. There was a Halloween demo available, similar to like a Dead by Daylight type of gameplay, and they had a house built in the front, like Mike Myers' house. So that was cool. Crowds are great. It's an interesting looking at the 4 days. Granted, I didn't go Friday, but looking at the days I did go and seeing like the different crowds. Like Thursday, I wouldn't say dead, but it's like hallelujah. You can walk around. The lines are short. Like, it's a lot of media. It's people, obviously who are very dedicated to going. Awesome. Saturday, busy as fuck. Like, there's so many people. If you want to wait in a line, obviously it's going to take a little longer. Saturday's also like the cosplay day. So like the cosplayers go hard on Saturday. I saw a bunch of Warhammer guys walking around. I probably should have taken some photos of them for you. Saw a lot of like Pokemon people and anime influenced people and just a wide variety of characters. But man, those cosplayers are dedicated to what they're doing. And then Sunday's like the family day. So you see like a lot of parents with their kids doing the demos and doing their thing and having a blast. It's just like, wow, this is it's truly for everybody. And I think that's what makes PAX so awesome is, typically I'm going not as media, but like trying to see these independent demos and maybe talk to the devs a little bit and kind of be in that networking type group of meeting people who are doing podcasts, doing gaming content, doing Twitch streams, doing whatever it is, chat with them, pick their brains and build those relationships up. And then you see it from like other people's perspective of like, I'm just here for the board games. I'm going to be back in the board game area. I'm here for the panels. I'm going to be doing this. I'm here for the just shopping. There's so many options of things to do at PAX. It's nuts. And it was something like, I think I talked about last year, or previously when we talked about this, but I'm like, man, this is a really, really good convention. Because like other conventions are a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But if you go to a Comic-Con, what are you doing? You're pretty much going for the comics. Yeah. This has such a variety for people. And to see all of those groups kind of come together and just enjoy this one thing and being so inclusive and everybody being so kind and nice to each other, I just love it. It was a great time. So let's talk about some highlights, some indie games that I did jump into that I had a great time with. One that I think stole the show for me is a game called Crystal Mancers. So Crystal Mancers, it was two gentlemen who were running the booth. I believe both devs. I don't think they had any PR guys with them. But Crystal Mancers was Tetris, but like a roguelike Tetris. So you had Tetris going on the side. That was your main gameplay mechanic, and you were fighting an enemy each room that you went into. However, when the demo started, you added a sigil to a block. And what that sigil does is whenever you clear a line of the Tetris blocks with that sigil included, all the other sigils that are present on your board will also get removed. So it just kind of added more potential to you clearing rows and clearing blocks to then deal damage to the bad guys. So that was pretty cool. It's not as fast paced as Tetris, where you're like, okay, it's going down. I got to panic, rotate this. Oh, no, I messed up. Very much take your time, flip as much as you want, organize it however you want. And you also have the freedom of you don't have to place it on the top. If you can fit it like deeper into your puzzle and there's a spot for it, go for it. So appreciated that as someone who's not the best at Tetris. The part that I really liked and I got a kick out of is similar to other roguelites where, you know, it's the branching. You can hit a chest here, get something fancy, hit a marketplace, do that. There was something called the Blocksmith. And here you have a lot of customization available to you. So you pick your current Tetris blocks and you bring it into this like forge, and you can manipulate it and add blocks to that Tetris block and make whatever you want. So for example, for the first time I played it, I went back and played it again because I liked the demo so much. I had that annoying S piece, or one of them at least. And what I did is I added a block below and above to make it a 3x3, like a 6 total. So it's just a giant rectangle. And it will pop up in your like arsenal of blocks as you continue to go through. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility and freedom and adds more possibilities to clear lines. So it was a short demo. I think it was like 5 rooms in total, maybe like 3 enemies, 2 of the manipulating ones, and then the final boss. I had a great time with it. Like I alluded to, I went back to it a second time and kind of tinkered around with the blocks even more. Like I made a giant L piece that I messed around with. And I think I made one that was a little bit stubbier. But both times I was able to clear it. Both devs, very, very nice. And they were very receptive to like, hey, what'd you think of this? Any feedback that you have and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I had a great time. Let them know the notes I had. And they're like, awesome. Thank you so much for that. So really appreciate that. You know, I probably should have pulled up Steam before talking. But yeah, Crystal Mancers was one of my highlights, definitely for that. My second one, total opposite. It's called Do a Crime. You're a little raccoon and you're doing crimes. If you guys have played Untitled Goose Game, this is Untitled Goose Game with a raccoon. So you're just running around. You can rip open trash bags. You're trying to collect food. You're trying to collect money. And you're messing around with the people around you. Another one where this folks work in the booth were very, very nice. But it was just a fun demo to run around with, cause chaos. They had a fun booth that they set up with like, it's very much like a picnic area. So they had chairs that were literally like camper chairs. So you're very relaxed and it was hard to get out of, but that was fun. And then when you were done, they had a wanted board outside and they took pictures of you saying you did crime. So it was a little Polaroid and they were taking photos of people. So I thought that was cute and that was fun. So looking forward to that one.
That's cool.
Yeah. I followed up on some games that were at PAX last year, so I'll quickly touch on those. Sigils of Nightfall, which I know you and I have talked about. It's a Slay the Spire inspired game. Very grim and dark, art aesthetic. This was the first one I jumped into. It was funny. The guy started giving the spiel. I was like, "Oh, I actually played this last year." And he's like, "Oh, really?" He got so excited that I had come back, and I was like, "Yeah." So like, what can you tell me has changed? Oh, we've added this. We've tinkered this. I'm like, "Oh, great." So I played through it. Pretty much the same demo, but they added a fun skill check mechanic to it. So similar to D&D, you rolled some dice, tried to get a certain number, and if you got that skill check, you would like boost your stats, whether it was strength, agility, defense, whatever it was. So there was that. And then talking with him afterwards, he's like, yeah, you got the same boss that you got last year, but I guess they've added more of a randomization. So they added some different bosses that you could potentially run into for that game. So yeah, Sigils looks really good. They've definitely, I could see the changes and the growth from it. Like the art style is still fantastic, but I could see like things popped a little bit more and it was a little cleaner. So looking forward to that very, very much. Another one I followed up with Cat was Cat Secretary. Cat Secretary, just a little cat. You're a secretary in office. You got to do little mini tasks. Not too much they added here. No, actually, that's a lie. They added voiceovers. So all the characters had voices that went along with them and narration and stuff like that. So that was a nice appreciated feature. And then they also, at least I don't think it was in last year's demo, they added another task, which was like organizing files. So you had to put them in the appropriate like category. But I don't know if you've seen those videos of like people organizing the colored balls that are like in giant stacks. And sometimes they have to like move this one to then move this color over. It was the same thing with these folders. It was definitely not as intense of like there's 20 folders in everyone, but you had to mess around with that a bit. So that was a great time. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was like a update. No, those were the only ones that I got from last year in terms of a follow-up. And then two more I want to give a shout out to is one I actually played today. It's called Runt, and it's a very dark, grim, disgusting in the best way spooky like narrative game. So you're the runt of a litter of brothers, and their father passed away. I think it was a year ago. I don't remember. But you're going to the church to like do like a remembrance type of ceremony. And as you're kind of leading up to this, you just see like the abuse and like negativity your older brothers kind of throw at you of like just making fun of you, mean names, whatever it is. There's just like this ugh around you, and you're just trying to, exist. And in going to the remembrance, it's revealed that somebody's messed with it and has like a threat for the family that says 5 days. And it turns out you're the one who put it there. So it's this kind of psychological game where your choices will determine certain things and how your characters act and how others do their actions, where you're trying to stay secretive while I think taking out your family and kind of getting your revenge for what they've done to you and how they treat you. But yeah, it was a lengthy demo. I think it's out on Steam right now. But I had a good time with it. This demo probably could have ended like 3 times for how like they built something up and then it was like ta-da! And I was like, oh, it's done. Oh no, we're still going. Okay. But I enjoyed that one. And the last one I want to give a shout out to was one at the PAX Rising showcase area, which is like, I think PAX, whoever decides it. These are ones like they're really looking forward to and invested in. It was a game called Fishbowl, and Fishbowl was a top-down point-and-click game where you're focusing on this girl, and she's dealing with loss and grief of her grandmother who passed away, and you kind of are seeing like her memories of her grandmother and going through and living with the emotions that she's dealing with at that time, and kind of, I assume, eventually trying to help her process it, move on, grow from that experience. And even the short demo I played, it really
Yeah.
hit. Like, I noticed I was tearing up at the booth. I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on, I don't want to do this right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, you were just in the
Yeah.
demo. Gotcha.
Just even the demo was like, wow, you guys suck in the best way possible. Unfortunately, no dev was there. They had their PR there, but they had little like post-its, and they're like, "If thank you so much for playing. If there's anything you want to write to the dev, like feel free to put it down." I was like, "Oh, okay. Thank you for this. I teared up. You suck." No, I didn't put the "you suck," but I just like, yeah, you're crushing it. You did a great job. So those are a few of the demos that I did play and I had a great time with. I think all in all, over the 3 days that I did go, I played, I think, 12 demos. So yeah, I had a great time there. Definitely could have played more. A lot of my time I did spend around just looping that expo hall because I always feel like there's something you miss and you don't find. And you know, as you're walking around, of course you get handed stuff, or as you're leaving demos, so you get some freebies, which is always nice, or you can get fun little stickers, or if you're really lucky and it's a Sunday and they're trying to get rid of their stock, you can get free drinks. So yeah, all in all, I had a great time at PAX. I think a highlight for me was definitely the social interactions, reconnecting with obviously people I've talked to before, talking about their journeys, what they're moving on to next. I alluded to 6-1 and their changes last week. I got to talk to all of them and wish Mike the best in his next project, which I'm not going to say anything here. I know what it is, and it is truly, like, I am so proud of him. It's a really big opportunity, so keep an eye on socials for him if you want to follow that. But then also the new connections that I did make here, like people I knew granularly, I think that's the right term, like people I known through the Blue Sky bubble and interactions with other people, but have never talked to directly. Like, I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of them this time, and everybody was very kind, patient, supportive, like asking, what do you do, what's this, and just like, wow, okay, time for me to be an open person and not just be like, I'm over here and just hanging out. So a lot of kind words were said amongst the new people and the old people, new and old relationships that I had. So yeah, all in all, it was just a great time, and I'm really thankful for that experience, especially this year. And I will say, TJ, we have some cheerleaders in our corner. I had a few people being like, all right, what's this badge you got? Next year, media, content. You're getting that. I'm like, okay, thanks.
We're journalists.
We're journalists, damn it. I don't have a journal, but somehow we're journalists.
I'm gonna go to PAX East with a clipboard and a tie. I'm gonna be real official about it.
Well, speaking of next year's PAX, they did officially announce the dates. So if anybody listening is interested in going to PAX East 2027, next year is officially April 22nd through the 25th. So a little later in the year, which personally I'm thankful for. It might be warmer. But so April 22nd through the 25th, PAX 2027, they have that all set up and situated. So TJ, do you have any questions about PAX? I know we've talked about it a few times, or at least this PAX in specific, or in general.
No, I feel like I should have some questions. Like you know, at the end of an interview, they're always like, "Do you have any questions?" And you're like, "Well, you can't not have any questions." I have this interview, but I feel like you did a really good job
Thanks.
in the describing section, like whenever that was. That was like 4 months ago or something, where you were describing PAX East. Yeah, I feel like you did a pretty good job of explaining it. So I have a good understanding, like a grasp of it. But I'm just glad you got to play those games. They sound really fun, especially that Slay the Spire one sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And that Tetris game sounded really cool. And yeah, those sound like a blast to play. So
Yeah, and there's
really,
so many
yeah,
more out there. Like I said, there was demos that I did not play. The way they have the show floor like organized is it's more techie sales stuff and AAA like in the front of the expo hall. The sides
yeah,
kind of get more niche where it's like colleges and schools and more merch. And then as you go farther back, it's like your indies. It goes from there, and then the far back is your tabletop. But there was like sections of games that I didn't even check out. Like Blumhouse Games had a whole setup that they had a
oh wow,
pretty decent line for them the entire time. I know they're not indie anymore, but Double Fine was there this year, and they had Kiln was doing a demo in different stations. Um, games from Poland, I think what it was. They had an interesting setup, and that's something like it's me nitpicking about PAX from a person who's only been there 3 times. Lines,
Mhm.
when they're defined, okay, totally fine. Some booths where they have like, we got 6 demos. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great. Where the fuck are the lines for the 6 demos? It's just like stations and there's no tape for it. To me, I'm like, how do I know? Because I don't want to just stand next to somebody and either that's not the line, I'm cutting the line, I'm getting in somebody's way. There's certain setups where I get it. It's also like, we only have this much budget to do this stuff. So whatever. It's just like some of those specific booths I wish were clear. And maybe that's
yeah,
more of a thing where I have to just be like I mentioned Thursday's low crowds. Maybe it's just be like, okay, Thursday, boom, this is go to as many demos as I can. And then kind of not cherry pick, but like pick up the slack, for lack of a better term, the rest of the 3 days. And
yeah,
I know, as I've heard from my friends who are media, it's a little bit different because you also schedule appointments. And it's so funny hearing also the wide like variety of experiences. Like I had one creator and she's like, yeah, I'm here and I've played 1 demo. And I'm like, what? And then I had another friend who's like, I don't know, man, I don't feel like I've played anything. And then we followed up today. He's like, okay, I played 10, I played 12. Okay, that's actually pretty good. And it's crazy to see like, I mean, I had it too. I kept making fun of myself because people would ask like, oh, so what have you been playing? What demo stood out to you? And I'm like, I have the memory of a goldfish. What did I play today? So like having them running around, doing meetings, doing interactions, going in the media room, doing this, blah, blah, blah. I can see why they're like all over the place and thinking what their experience was. So long story, if like a media badge, if we did achieve that goal next year, for example, it could be a different story where it's more organized of like, okay, those booths that are maybe not as defined, you get in there, it's obviously easy. Like, I got a 2 p.m. here. Hi. It's not as bad. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's my only thing is like, yeah, I'm really scratching the surface with what I played. There are, I would say probably maybe 3 times, if not more, available demos out there from bigger people to smaller people that is available to you. And there was a lot that was clearly defined to me, but I was just in a zone where I'm like, I'm good. Played something, walk around. Played something, walk around. Like even Thursday, I noticed I started thinking about it. I'm like, why am I walking around so much? Should be playing stuff. So I did like one booth, play everything. Next booth, try and play it. And it was like, I don't know, this is kind of boring. Not the games, just like doing that boop, 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 one after another down the line. So
yeah,
if I wanted to, I probably could have played even more. But that's the thing too, walking out of this, I'm not like bummed that I didn't capitalize or didn't play enough. I feel like
right.
the whole time I really had a good time. Like even just the walking around, I'm like, the touch the grass type of sentiment, like I'm just here and there's things going on and the good energy. I'm happy with that. So
Yeah, and honestly, I'm mostly interested in the tabletop section
Hey,
of PAX. So
there you go.
we'd be in different places and
Sure.
stuff. But I would definitely check out some indie demos because
Hmm.
those are always the most creative and fun. Like I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the Tetris one that you explained
Oh,
earlier.
sure.
That just sounds awesome, but it sounds I feel like that's something I just have to get my hands on it to fully
Sure.
understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of the tabletop, like, it's so cool to see also, like I said, like, there's a whole just like audience for that, obviously, as they have a whole PAX that's just board games. But excuse me, to see it in that back section, and when venture sounds so weird, but when you're in the front and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go travel over here and see what's it's like, whoa, there's all these people over here too, where were you guys? There's Pokemon cards, magic cards, card games, board games, figurines. Like, there was so much back there, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then the tables too, so they have free play tables where you just bring stuff and play games with people. They have sessions where people will teach you how to play a certain game or whatever, and they'll have little headsets and they'll talk to you and stuff. And yeah, I got pitched one card game because I was doing the laps, and this guy's just like, hey, do you have a minute and you want to hear about a card game? And I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, sure. What's up? And then it was funny. We laughed about it, but it was the one guy, and he's like, all right, well, here's so-and-so, and she's going to tell you. I'm like, oh, that's nice. You're throwing it to her to give me the spiel. And she's like, yeah. But no, she was great. The card game she was talking about, I believe it's called Aegis, Egis, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But each of the letters stands for like a class of robot card that you have. And as you're playing it, you can play it solo, you can play it multiplayer, but you can like fuse cards together to make better robots. And you could do sets of 2, or eventually you could get up to like a Megazord where it's all 5. And you're kind of going against, I think it was like Legendary style, where you're going against the game itself. So that sounded pretty cool. But yeah, there's just like a whole nother world of like stuff available that I don't even know about, at least to the full degree of the back, tabletop type area. And yeah, there's so much here. Like, there's the console free play if you want to like sign out games and just try them out for like 30 minutes that are like released. Like, oh, I don't have a GameCube, I want to sign out this game and play it. You could do that. There's a PC console or PC gameplay area that does the same thing. There's a bring your own PC. I don't know how that works. If you're into fighting games, there's always a fighting game tournament going on. Wow. I think the big one this weekend was 2XKO they had going at the PAX Arena area. So that's constantly going on. There's the tourneys that are going on. Wide variety of titles, from Diddy Kong Racing to Smash Bros to fucking Overcooked 2 had a tournament. I was like, how? How are you doing that? So yeah, a lot of stuff. Is there any other avenues of it that you want more details on, I guess?
No, I'm mad at you now because how did you not lead with the robot card game? That sounds so cool. I want to play a robot card game. That sounds sick. And you can play it by yourself. You can play it one player. That's incredible. That sounds awesome. And you can make I'm not gonna say Megazord because I'm gonna go with a Gundam reference, but you can make a fucking Gundam wings shit. Like, that's so cool. I want that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so you should have led with that, definitely.
My bad.
But I played a robot card game. I want to try that game out. But yeah, no, that just sounds awesome.
Cool. So yeah, everybody, that was PAX East 2026. We got quite the haul of goodies as well. I'm excited for those. If you guys have any questions about PAX East, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. I'll try and get back to you. And yeah, at least I'll be going to PAX East 27. And like you said, or might have heard, our goal is media. So I got some work to do. But no, in all honesty, it was a great experience. I'm very grateful for giving it a chance a few years ago. I'm very grateful for, like I said, the people I've known for many, many years to the people I met for the first time this year. Just grateful for their positive energy, their support, their positive words, their kind words. And these events really are, like I said, there's a lot of freedom to it where you can find something for you. It doesn't have to be like the experiences obviously I'm talking about here of like, oh, and networking and like, not that I even think we're really business, but like I get how it could be seen that way. Like if like the video games aren't your thing, try the board game section. If the board game section isn't your thing, try the panels. If the panels aren't your thing, try the tournaments. Like there's so many options there that you don't have to be shoehorned into one category. And I think that's something I still appreciate from my position. It's while I'm trying to expand in like the media, the journalism side, as we joke about, there's still so much where I'm like, okay, I want to take a break. I'm going to go to this panel. Okay, I want to do this fun game tournament that looks really cool. Like, I appreciate still having that flexibility of like, do whatever the fuck I want. And that, I think that's something I want to make sure I maintain. While that is a goal of the media badge, I don't want the media badge to consume me. And I know that's probably getting cart, horse before, but like, I just really appreciate that of this event. But there was one thing else I was going to say. Crap. Oh, there'll be more PAX content both here on the Relatively Gaming YouTube channel. Sorry, Spotify. And my TikTok of going over each of the individual demos more in depth with some trailers and stuff like that. So if you want to check those out, please check those out there. Any of the games that you do hear or see about, please go wishlist them on Steam. It does help them out significantly. Hearing from the devs' mouth, it's themselves. It's huge. If they don't have a producer or a publisher, it helps them get a publisher, or at least shows there's interest here, and Steam will push it more. And then if you just want to see what the show floor is like, I put out daily vlogs, at least highlight reels of each of the days, so you can check out footage as well over on YouTube and TikTok under my channel specifically. Sorry for the plugs. PAX East.
PAX East, baby.
PAX East. All right, let's wrap up this long, maybe a new record of our episode length. What are we looking forward to in the future, or what's coming out of our backlog? TJ, what are you looking forward to playing, sir?
Well, I don't think anything's going to beat the length of that Justin episode, but we'll see.
True.
I am excited to play, to nobody's surprise after me gushing this week about Marathon. I'm excited to play Arc Raiders. I would like to give it a try. Now that I know what an extraction shooter is, I can kind of wrap my head around better what to expect from Arc Raiders. I don't know how similar it is to Marathon, how different it is. I guess I would find that out by playing it, but definitely excited to give it a check it out, because it is, again, the king of the mountain, the premier extraction shooter at the moment. It has the biggest player base, so I would like to try that out. I'm a little intimidated by it though, because I've seen a lot of PvP elements online of like people getting shanked and stuff, so I would like that to not happen to me. That would be cool if that didn't happen, but hopefully it's like Marathon, where it's mostly PvE and then PvP sometimes, and when you see another player you're like, oh shit, and it's like a cool little moment where you're like, oh fuck, it's an actual person and not a robot, and you gotta like change your tactics entirely. So maybe it'll give me that feeling too. So Arc Raiders for sure. Definitely want to check that out in the future. What about yourself?
Very cool. All right, let's talk about PAX pickups. So this has been one on the radar for a little while because I've heard a lot of good things about. But I've been kind of timid to get into because I'm like, I don't know if it resonates with me. But I saw a physical version of it and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling inspired. So I'm going to grab it. And that is Slay the Princess, the pristine cut. Not like Slay the Spire like we talked about in the past. So I'm just going to read it right from the box. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A choice-driven psychological horror visual novel dating sim.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Choice-driven psychological horror visual novel dating sim. Yep.
Those words shouldn't go together, but go ahead.
Fully voice acted with evocative hand-penciled art. Because this is the pristine cut, this is like the game of the year type of edition. Over 35% more content in the pristine cut, 3 brand new chapters, expansions to familiar routes, new princesses, a new ending, and of course, consequences. Includes OST download and mirror sticker sheet. Sweet. So yeah. I hope it clicks. The art is fantastic. And yeah, I'm interested to see how spooky and off the wall this goes.
Yeah, seems like a very unique game, at least.
Exactly.
At the very least.
Yeah. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of the Relatively Gaming Podcast. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today for this watch and or listen. If you guys enjoyed what you heard, please feel free to drop a follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to, whether that's YouTube or Spotify. It really does help us out. And, lets us know you like what you're hearing. If you have anything for a future topic for the podcast, like I mentioned before, the comment section down below, please put it down there and we will definitely talk about it in a future episode. Shout out once again to Mike for last week's question that we added into the podcast. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you guys have anything that you want us discussed, put it down below. TJ, as always, thank you, good sir, for recording this with me today, especially a later episode.
No, thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we hope you have a good rest of your day, or as we said last week, a weekend, wherever you're listening to this. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.